I pulled that face off, and beneath it was a reptile.
Whoa. This guy, like, doesn't even look real.
This little tooth that sticks out here.
Fans claim they saw Justin Bieber turn into a giant reptile.
In simple terms, there is a predator race.
Just to be clear, there's no evidence that an alien race of 12 feet tall, blood-drinking reptilian humanoids secretly controls the world.
Are the allegations true that you're secretly a lizard? I'm gonna have to go with no.
That was not quite as elegant as I wanted it to be.
Uh-oh.
But hang on a second. I'm trying to fix this now so that we're not sharing the screen anymore. Hang on a minute.
It's hard to be elegant. It's hard to be elegant, Kathy.
I know, I tell you, especially sometimes. Like, hello. Huh?
Yeah.
Hang on a second. I might have to figure out what is going on here.
Technical difficulties.
We're sorry. We're very, very sorry.
It's because it's the reptilians. They're interfering with the broadcast. So just hold on to your tails.
Right? Oh, yeah, I tell ya. Don't know what is happening here.
Just hold on. Don't adjust your television set or what.
Yeah, it's literally just me being dumb.
Oh my God. We have taken control of your computers.
Right? 100%. Okay. Well, just a second. Okay, so nobody leave.
Nobody leave. Nobody leave.
I'm coming, but we're coming back. I'm just going to take us off and put us back on again because I think it's just a screw up somehow. Hang on.
Okay, cool.
We'll be back. Okay.
We'll be back.
Hey, I honestly have no idea what's going on here. I've never had this. No, like honestly, it's really weird, right? Oh, hang on.
Oh, there you
Okay.
You did it.
I think I did. Somehow. Okay. All right. Yeah, because they change the settings on this thing, right, all the time. And so I think that I'm apparently just not smart. Something. I don't know. But they change the settings all the time, so it makes it
Kathy, I told you it's the reptilians. They know we're talking about them, and this is why this is happening. There you go.
Honest to God, it must be because I swear.
Yes.
So,
there you go.
Yeah. And hello, Brenda. Thank you for being patient with us. Thank you for everybody who's watching and who's here with us right now. And also thank you to all of our new subscribers. We truly appreciate you guys being here, and all of those that are new to our Facebook page as well. Again, we truly appreciate you being here. Please make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Yay. So today we're going to talk about skinwalkers, reptilians. I'm scared to share scenes now. That's my only problem. I'm wondering how we're going to do that. So we're going to have to figure that out. I think what I might have to do is keep switching screens.
Yeah. That's
You
okay.
know, yeah. So if I majorly screw this up, people, please forgive me because
Be patient. Be
yeah,
patient.
I don't know. So okay, let's start off with this while I'm trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing here. Okay, so when you know what we keep hearing these stories about especially about the lizard people. And these have been coming up actually for quite a while, especially with in regards to it being a lot of the stars that are, you know, celebrities and all of that. And I'm just trying to find, because when we were having my little panic there, I kind of got rid of some of them. So I just want to make sure that I have so I do have a video here that I would like to show you. And again, I think I'm going to have to change the screen, so just give me a minute. Okay, here we go. So we're going to try this.
Brenda's right. Queen of England is on that list.
Yes, absolutely. Right? So,
Mhm.
okay, so we're going to do this, and hopefully this works. All right, hang on a second. Again.
It's okay. I'm sure there are many people that can identify.
Theory posits that shape-shifting reptilian aliens, often referred to as reptilians or lizard people, have infiltrated human society and secretly control the world. Popularized by conspiracy theorist David Icke, these beings are said to originate from the Draco constellation. According to Icke, reptilians disguise themselves as humans and occupy positions of power in governments, corporations, and other influential institutions. Key points: origins. The idea of reptilian beings dates back to various ancient mythologies and folklore. Modern conspiracy theories were significantly developed by David Icke in the late 20th century. Reptilians are believed to come from a planet in the Draco constellation, Finding Earth. The theory suggests that reptilians discovered Earth through advanced technology and have been present for millennia, possibly influencing early human civilizations' presence on Earth. Proponents argue that reptilians manipulate global events and control humanity from behind the scenes. They believe reptilians can shapeshift to blend in with humans. Evidence. Supporters cite alleged sightings, historical texts, and perceived anomalies in the behavior of world leaders as evidence of their existence. For those interested in increasing their knowledge about interesting topics and conspiracy theories.
Okay. So back to us here. Yeah, like, okay. So I know that I've got a video here showing some of the people that have been, you know, thought of as I'm going to have to find it as we're talking here. But the main thing is that what do you feel about this, Lynda?
Well, it's been a long time since I've heard about this theory. And interestingly enough, I heard about this theory from this man who was a locum. So somebody who was replacing the chiropractor that I used to work for. And he was reading one of the books by David Icke, I think.
Yeah. I love how they say it in the video, Ike, and they come up with all kinds of.
I always said David Icke, but anyway. But yeah, and it was interesting because he said, sure, you can read this book, no worries. So I remember stealing it away during my lunch hour and being really transfixed. And it's interesting because, you know, if people explain things well enough, you can believe it. Honestly, you really can. And now, especially with video, right? A lot of people are pointing to specific videos that perhaps might be a bit distorted, but as evidence, of course, that there are certain people in the world, like the Queen of England, that are reptilians. I mean, and honestly, as I said, if people explain it well enough, and David Icke, his books are quite convincing. So, we just don't know, right? I mean, we're in this crazy, crazy business of the paranormal where anything might be possible. So when you see things like this, if you open your mind enough to it, I mean, there's a possibility. Who knows? What do you think?
So I'm going to show you another video, and this has more of the celebrities of, and I think this is kind of interesting, to be honest. So I'm just going to bring this one up. Just give me again one more second, because I got to figure out what the fuck I'm doing half the time. You know what I mean? So just give me a second. Okay. Now, hang on. We're going to go here. We're going to go back here. I have to keep switching stages.
It's all good.
But as long as people can see it, that's really what matters. So I don't really care, right? So, okay, this is an interesting one as well.
Okay, I'm ready.
Video about reptilians and examples of reptilians in Hollywood, so you need to watch this and let me know your thoughts.
Katy Perry blinking sideways, and you'll notice they always cover up when their eyes do that with a very quick blink, jerk of the head, something like that. That one's really creepy. Angelina Jolie, I slow it down for you so you can get really in there to see it, and she blinks like 5 times to cover it up. There's Rihanna. Hers is really interesting. The eye color even changes. And this is Miley Cyrus. And these are so fast, Taylor Swift, that why would they try to change that with film? It happens so quick that why would somebody go back and edit this? This is a German talk show host. That one is very extreme, very prominent, and it was done live. If you'd like, I'll do a round 2 and show you some more.
So again, I do find that to be actually very interesting, to be honest. I do feel that there's some truth behind it to some degree. I'm not going to say truth in the extent of that I'm fully into the whole reptilian state, the whole theory. But I will tell you, and we've talked about this too, and I brought this up to you. There is one in particular that I have seen myself change.
Wow.
And this was, and I don't know if that was just in my, that could have been just like intuitively, psychically, whatever, you know what I mean? However, but that one freaked me right the F out.
Whoa. So was that in person?
No. This was on TV, actually.
Oh,
but,
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about.
I know
Right?
who you're
And
talking
I
about.
have seen, so I know that I have this video kicking around, but I might have actually shut it down a little bit. But basically, yeah, and I mean, this is one that, and I'm just going to say the celebrity because I don't think it matters. She's on many TikToks of being accused of this, but this would be Greta Thunberg, right? Or whatever her name is.
Yes.
And, there's been many theories of her, and it's interesting because, it's something that head turn, you see a change. Could be just me. Maybe I'm psychotic. Who knows? Could be. That's a possibility too.
No, because there are a lot of people. There are a lot of people that not only say that she looks kind of reptilian, but also some people that say she looks evil. That there's something that almost possesses her, and that's kind of interesting, right?
See, I like what Brenda's saying too. I thought I saw Dr. Phil on TV blink, and I had a pause to rewatch. I was thinking I was crazy, and that's just it, right? Is that you kind of think, what the hell just happened? Like, am I crazy, or did I actually just see what happened?
Right.
And You know, I mean, to be honest, I could care less about that girl. I really,
Yeah, I get you.
there's literally no thought process in my head except for that one time, and I did see it, and she did come here at one point. It was in the city. It was really bizarre, actually. It was like a little bit eerie. You know what I mean? But anyway, yeah, it was just on TV, and it was just a turn of the head that, you know, and I was like, did I see what I just saw?
Right.
What the hell?
Right.
Like, what did I just see?
Right.
You know what I mean?
I do.
Yeah, and it's funny because, yeah, a lot of that, you know, that is one of the, when I was doing my TikTok deep dive, that was one of the people that came up several times.
Yes, and it's interesting because when it does come up, a lot of times people will explain the way that she looks, or that look in her eyes or on her face, as somebody who's just passionate about what they're talking about. And I mean, I understand there are different explanations, but again, we don't know, right? We don't know. Who knows?
You got to wonder, though. I mean, here's the thing, right? Is that apparently, you know, all of the people that they have, you know, mentioned, and these aren't just like left wingers. They're also not just right wingers. Like these are from all walks of life, I guess is the best way to say it. There's not one particular, you know, there's some that are, you know, not, they might be well known, but they might not be super rich, you know, but then you've got the billionaires, and you've got the, like, you look at Taylor Swift, for instance.
Right.
You know, and that, I mean, I don't know, but right?
You don't know.
That is another one of the people that you know, has been accused of this, I guess, is, or the theory is behind that, right? And so, you know, when we welcome Bobby Joe, just want to say welcome. But you know, when we look at the theory of this, and it's, but the basic thing is that they have influence. There's an influence behind them.
Yes, exactly.
They have a way of bringing about a being able to influence another, whatever that genre is, I guess is the best way to say it.
Right. Yeah. There's an influence. Interesting, because I was looking it up online, the whole reptilian thing, and it says that 4% or 12 million Americans believe in the reptilian conspiracy theory. And apparently that's what it is. It's described as a conspiracy theory. And David Icke believes that Gnostic texts contain evidence that certain higher vibrational beings of frequency, known as archons or archons, appear on Earth as humans, masking their true reptilian form. Now, isn't that interesting?
That is interesting.
Yes. And I've heard of this archons or archons, as people call them.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting because, you know, that whole thing, they walk among us. And it's kind of like that show. I think you might have heard, yeah, V. Remember V?
I used to love that show.
Me too. I love that show too. And again, it's like, yes, they walk among us, and sometimes they let their guard down.
Yeah.
Right? That's the only reason. But they're here, according to David Icke and followers of David Icke. They're intent on enslaving humanity to their own, for their own selfish reasons. But I don't know if I like that word, enslaving humanity. I don't know. Why do you think they would be here?
But you know, if we think about it, I don't know if it means enslaving, like us doing their work for them, but to some degree, yes. Like I don't think that there's like, I don't think that it'd be like slaves, like in, you know, chains and, you know, all of that, like the traditional meaning of how we would look at slavery, I think.
Right.
But I could see, like, if you think about it, look at how easy people are influenced.
True.
Look at the sheep mentality that we already have. All we
Yes.
need is like an influencer, such as somebody huge and a billionaire and a good singer that says ABC and boom, 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 boom. All of a sudden, you've got 12, 13-year-old girls that are, and then their moms are like, and then the next thing you know, you've got a whole, millions of people that are like losing their mind because of the fact that there was one statement said.
Right.
And so, to some degree, that isn't slavery.
It is. It's like sophistry, speaking wonderfully and influencing. And I think that's the key, is being the influencers, right?
Yeah. But I wonder if I'd be a snake person, because I have like a couple of them.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
Yeah, I actually really like snakes. Apparently, 1 in 4 people are snake, are apparently reptilian.
Really?
Yeah.
My
skin is dry enough sometimes during the summer. I kind of wonder. I wish it would shed. That would be nice.
Well, they're obviously trying to make us all into reptilians, because don't they like this hot, humid environment?
No, so actually, that was the other thing. Is apparently, from what I was reading and everything, is that apparently, I think I've got one here. Just give me 1 second.
Okay.
I don't think that we've seen this one yet. I'm pretty sure this is the one I was looking for. Give me 1 minute here. Did we see this one? No, we didn't. Okay, just give me 1 minute, and I'll get us up. And so now, apparently, okay, share screen. Okay.
All right, I'm ready.
I think we did see this one.
Oh, yes, we did.
We did. Okay, yeah. So,
we did.
We did, which is unfortunate.
We did.
I thought I had it, but I did not. So that's okay.
That's okay. I think it's really interesting that, people claim to have seen Justin Bieber turn into some reptilian creature. I mean, I don't know.
The thing is that with somebody like Justin Bieber, though, okay, the thing is that most of these people that are accused of being reptilian, they're not really, they don't really struggle. They don't really struggle. They might have one big downfall, and then they seem to be obliterated, I guess is the best way to say it. Or they're not back in the mainstream. It's like they might have one big screw up, but then they're gone. Like we might not hear about them. You know what I mean? So with Justin Bieber, he's gone through a lot of personal trauma, and now with the Diddy trial and all of that, stuff that's, happening. Yeah. And, it's kind of actually just brought him to a different place. Right.
Right. There was an Elvis one too. Remember that one?
Yes. I've got that one here. Hang on a second. Let me find that.
That was intriguing. That was very intriguing. I never really thought of it.
But that's what I mean. Like, people like Elvis, like all of a sudden they're just gone. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just going to go here. These videos like to start right away. And it's like, I don't want you to start right away. I just give me a minute to get shit going. And then you can start.
See, Brenda's right. She says, I don't recall hearing of average everyday people being reptilian, only famous people.
Yeah, absolutely. Right.
Linda, I don't know. I challenge that. I've had a couple of bosses that I could probably say were probably reptilian. Just saying.
Exactly.
Seriously.
All right. Hang on a second. Okay, here we go. Can we see this? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, there we go. Okay.
Is about to accept the medallion of life from the little girl. He's going to lean in, give her a kiss. Everything seems pretty normal up until this point. You'll see some pictures here in a moment, but then about here, things get a little strange. So now we're going to go through a series of pictures where you see the little girl have a range of emotions, and then right about here, she sees something wrong as he pulls away. What does she see?
Sorry.
Well, we're all about to see it first.
Hang on. I screwed that up.
It's all good.
Okay, hang on.
Ourselves as he stands up and looks at the camera right here.
Sorry, just give me a second. I'm going to start it over again. Just a minute, guys. I'm so sorry. Oh my God. I'm really beginning to hate technology today.
I told you, it's the reptilians. They don't want us talking about them.
Or I'm just an idiot.
Elvis is about to accept the medallion of life from the little girl. He's going to lean in, give her a kiss. Everything seems pretty normal up until this point. You'll see some pictures here in a moment, but then about here, things get a little strange. So now we're going to go through a series of pictures where you see the little girl have a range of emotions, and then right about here, she sees something wrong as he pulls away. What does she see? Well, we're all about to see it for ourselves as he stands up and looks at the camera right here. What's weird is somehow the guy holding the microphone misses this part, but here very soon he's going to notice something that is amiss. I think that'll be right about here, and he looks a little disturbed. After seeing this, he quickly walks away and then acts like nothing ever happened. Look at his face. Yikes. You also see a couple of Elvis's men seeing everything as it happens. One of them steps in front of the camera. The other man goes directly for the eye that was just melting. Here we go again in real time. See Elvis's guy step in front of the camera right here. Then the other guy goes right for the eye. He saw exactly what happened. It's the only way to explain him going right onto the eye. Now you start to see some other weirdness around Elvis's face. Looks like he's getting holes around his eyes. People will tell you, no, those were just dark circles under his eyes. You know, have you ever seen this phenomenon before? And also, look.
So, again, that is extremely interesting, I find. Like, that's fascinating. Okay, how do I get rid of this? Okay.
Yeah, that's really fascinating.
Thank you for everybody that's saying don't worry and
It's
up
hard.
with my lameness today.
It's hard to do that. It's hard to, you're not lame. Oh my gosh. No, it's hard to do stuff like this. But yeah, that was a weird one, right? Because if you actually find that one and, you do one of those screenshots and you zoom in, it's really bizarre. Like it looks like his eye is massive and it looks like it's melting. It's the strangest thing.
Well, the interesting part of that is too. Now we receive digital pictures or digital media all the time, apparently showing ghosts. And we all know that our phones and digital products, I guess is the best way to say it, they tend to matrix and they tend to, they can really skew,
Yes, they
screw
distort
things up, distort.
Yeah.
But this is monologue. Like this is old school stuff. Sorry, we've got a party going on outside.
Oh, I hear that.
Somebody apparently has a teeny tiny little body part and needs to show off, right? This is my excuse. I'm giving them an excuse. I'm trying to be nice.
I hear that. I do.
So, but yeah, it's, but when we look at old school digital type of stuff, we don't normally get that type of imagery.
No.
And this is why a lot of, even paranormal investigators, if they can get a hold of the old school film type of cameras, those are still like some of the best because they're going to show the true image.
Exactly.
They're not, and plus there's no apps to kind of screw everything up, right? Or
No.
to make stuff up or to invent stuff or whatever it is. So
that's true.
Yeah. But, and again, Elvis got really big. Then he got to one place and then boom. And you see that a lot. It's like Marilyn Monroe, for instance. Marilyn Monroe's another good one, right? Got to a certain place and then boom.
Well, some will say that Marilyn Monroe was not one, but that she learned about it and was about to blow the whistle. And that's why she was exterminated. That's another theory out there. So I mean, again, you don't know.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
And nowadays, and I think back then, I mean, everything back then was taken a little bit more seriously. I mean, nowadays, it's not the same atmosphere as it was back then. So something like that, all you need is a few people with lower education, which obviously happened, right? And it could turn into something. Whereas here we're just kind of like, whatever. Okay, that's funny.
Yeah, it's true.
We don't take it on the level, that maybe we should, maybe we shouldn't. Who knows whatever it is, but so
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Let's get into like the skinwalkers and the shapeshifters. I find that that's kind of interesting. So the shapeshifters, for instance, or the skinwalkers, I should say. So this is a Navajo legend, and apparently it's taken very, very seriously. And especially, by the Navajo. And there are some apparent rituals that you actually have to perform in order to become a skinwalker. So it's actually an intentional thing. It's not just some creature that's running around the forest in, creepy kind of like. These are people that usually turn into something that is an average day type of animal. So we're talking like a wolf, a coyote, a bear, this sort of thing. Something that would have been able to been around the Navajo, especially. And I was watching this one YouTube channel. I'm just going to show you guys the channel. I don't really want to play the whole video because it is a long video, but I am going to recommend that you guys give him a watch because I found him to be extremely interesting, and he really gets into the story of the Navajos. And I'm just going to put up his thing right here.
He was fascinating, I have to say.
It was really good, and I would play the video, you know what I mean, but we just don't have the time for that and stuff like that. But I would definitely suggest subscribing to his video or to his channel. His name is Sean Clen, Shadow Productions, and he talks about the truth of the Skinwalker story of the Navajo Nation. And one of the things that he stated was that, yes, this was a production of, like, it wasn't a series, it was a series of things that people would do to purposely become skinwalkers. And it wasn't just, one of the things, I really actually got a kick out of this, because he said it's not like, there's videos all over YouTube and TikTok about skinwalkers, and you'll see like somebody's poodle apparently being a skinwalker or something like that. Nice. And he's like, it's not going to be your poodle. No, because a human being cannot fit into a poodle.
No. It has to be a large piece of skin.
That's exactly like a coyote, or again going into a wolf, or a bear, or an elk, or something along that line. One of the sacrifices was that, or one of the things that they had to do was sacrifice a loved one.
Yes,
an immediate loved one. And that, I think, just on that alone, basically it would be the fact that you're that's pure evil in itself. So of course you would turn into something kind of evil. But there was another series of he did not give us the prescription, thank God, how to become. Because I could see that some people making that a thing.
Yes, but no, he said that he couldn't. He really didn't want to, and that he really couldn't talk about that. And as a matter of fact, you're really not even supposed to talk about skinwalkers. That's something that you're told, don't ever even mention skinwalkers, because
we did already. So,
well, I know. Typical, right? Typical. I'm just gonna talk. God.
But
I actually sent you a photograph of the picture of the cover of the book that David Icke talks about, aliens and stuff like that. It's called Children of the Matrix, and that's the one that I glanced at and read part of, which was fascinating. So if anybody's interested in this particular book, I highly recommend it because it's very convincing. It's very different. He's definitely an interesting guy. If you're interested in any of this, this would be the one. This would be the one. Cool, no?
Can you guys see that? Yeah, there he is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's very interesting, actually.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool.
Now you've talked about, there's, hang on a second.
Oh,
You've
yes.
talked about something being around your house.
Oh my gosh. Yes, that everybody here calls a skinwalker. Many people have reported seeing this creature in and around the area that I live in. And I think one of the reasons that they do call it a skinwalker is because, we're very much steeped here in legends and myths of the Chippewa, because we have the Chippewas of Georgina Island, and people talk about, strange things around here. And could it possibly be anything to do with, the indigenous myths and legends and things? Well, we have this thing that people call a skinwalker, but it seems to be a humanoid on all fours, and it skitters around. It's been seen in a lot of neighborhoods up here in Georgina, which is like an hour north of Toronto. But it's really kind of something like what people might call the rake. So if you Google something called the rake, this is what you're going to see. And it's sort of, it's completely naked. So it's skinless. And it hops around, hops.
I have a picture here that you had sent me.
Yes, it skitters around on all fours. Big head, big eyes. And it's very strange. And many people have reported seeing it in this area, which I think is really interesting, actually.
It is very interesting. Have you seen it?
I myself have not, but people have seen it sort of as, as lately as last summer, which is kind of interesting. But one of my favorite stories is a couple that was coming home from a party, stopped at a banking machine. They were just about to get out of the car. And yeah, there it is. Weird, no? But
He's a creepy little guy.
Yeah, but they saw this thing come out of the bushes, stop right in front of their car and stare at them, and then go right past the bank. So I guess they figured it needed to go to the banking machine a lot, more than they did. So they stayed in the car and left. But if you saw something like that when you were going to the banking machine, you wouldn't get out of your car either, right?
As Rihanna says, or a wraith. Yeah,
right?
Yeah, like something, I definitely could see that being rake or a wraith. Yeah, definitely. I've got a video here that does talk about what is a skinwalker.
Okay.
I'm going to put that up. Just give me 1 second again to figure out what the fuck I'm doing. I mean, sorry, that was under my breath.
I heard nothing. I heard nothing.
All right, here we go.
What is a skinwalker? A skinwalker is a shape-shifting demonic entity. It's essentially a Native American witch or warlock that sells their soul in exchange for immortality, the ability to take on the skin or shape-shift, oftentimes in the form of a wolf, a dire wolf, or a werewolf-like creature, but they can also take on the shape of other animals as well. It's a topic that I found the Native American community likes to stay away from. They don't like to discuss it, to even say the name skinwalker is negative. What is a skinwalker? A skinwalker is a shape-shifting demonic.
Yeah, so you're right. Like where they say, yeah, definitely. Like it's not even something that you know what I mean? So what I'm wondering is, do you feel like the shapeshifters are the same thing as the skinwalkers, or are these a different creature?
Well, I mean, for the simple fact that, skinwalkers can shapeshift, I think, you might sort of all pile them into the same kind of category. I find it interesting because that clip, that was, I think his name is Brandon Fugel. I think he's the owner of Skinwalker Ranch. So
Okay.
that's kind of interesting. And if anybody watches The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch, I mean, there's a lot of crap that goes on there. And they're right in the middle of, I can't remember what it is, the Utes or something like that in Utah. So they're definitely right in the middle of another sort of indigenous area. And they really do believe that there's something weird going on there. And there's a lot of things that people have seen. And I do believe that you can probably lump skinwalkers in with shapeshifters, because, I mean, let's face it, shapeshifters have been around forever and ever and ever. Some of the,
well,
like,
a lot of people thought that they were witches too. So getting past the indigenous culture, a lot of people assumed that shapeshifters had more of a a witch background to it. And I mean, we always hear about witches morphing into cats or whatever it was.
Yes, but even in mythology, like Zeus, Zeus used to come down and transform himself into all kinds of things, and take advantage of the ladies, like Leda and the Swan. So Leda, of course, was taken advantage of because Zeus became the Swan. So again, yeah, that's what they do. They shape shift into something. And interestingly enough, when I was looking it up, fairies, witches, wizards, witches could turn into hares, and they could steal milk and butter, apparently, way back when.
Yeah.
I know some witches now, and they don't do that.
Now they just go to Safeway.
That's right. But like when you think about it, there are certain shapeshifters. We don't consider shapeshifters. We consider them other creatures, like werewolves. They're shapeshifters. Vampires.
Vampires turn into bats, right?
Right. So
or even just plain human.
Well, that's true. Werewolves, vampires, changelings. We've heard about them. So this is sort of something that we've heard of in lore and myths, and all of these things for a very, very long time. But I think you're right. I mean, it's interesting how I'm going to mispronounce it. Azariana, hopefully that's how you pronounce your name. I see shapeshifters, but I thank them for letting me see them. They have never harmed me. Luckily so. I wouldn't want to be harmed by a shapeshifter, that's for sure. But Kathy, you had sent this one video, and I think it's that video that we were talking about, that YouTube channel that you were talking about.
Right.
And someone said that, you're in the presence of either a shapeshifter or a skinwalker. If, for instance, you're driving at night, you see something by the side of the road, somebody that looks like they're in trouble or something.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes, and then they follow you. You don't stop for them because you're in the middle of nowhere, but they keep up with your car or your truck. They sort of run alongside of it. They keep up with it. That would really be frightening. I mean, if you think about it,
especially if you're. I mean, so this is. I'm just gonna show his channel again because I do highly recommend. I do highly recommend.
He was great.
He really was. Yeah, he had I actually want to go and watch some of his other stuff. I just for time purposes, that's the only video that I watched, but he looks like he has a really, really interesting channel. So this particular, can you guys see it? Yeah. The Truth of Skinwalker, story from the Navajo Nation. I found that really interesting. But again, his channel is the Shanklen Shadow Productions. And he looks like he's got some really great stuff on there. So
yeah, you know what I liked? what I really liked about watching that one was that he has a sensitivity towards it, and he handles it with such sort of, ease and calm and, and sensitivity. I think that's the key, because a lot of people, when they talk about these kinds of things, they transform it into some big, oh my God, it's demonic, it's this. No, there's a lot of knowledge there that he has, and he's very sensitive about it and talks about it with knowledge. And I think that that's really important, especially nowadays.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I love it. Mario said pugwudgies. I've heard of pugwudgies.
What are they? Puckwudgies also.
Yeah, Mario, I've heard of them, and I do remember reading about them, and I do remember pugwudgies being shapeshifters as well. They can transform themselves into sort of something else. And a lot of times they talk about how when shapeshifters can do this, it's to mimic you or mimic somebody and take advantage of them in some way. And I love that. Enslave. That's interesting. That's a good word, right? Enslave. Kind of scary.
It is.
Kind of scary.
Right? What does Mario say? Is it that they are physically changing, or is this an entity that can change our perception of what it looks like depending on the folklore of the area? Ooh.
Very good. Because you know what, Mario? It's all about perception, right? We always talk about that. Intention and perception. So that's a very astute question. No, seriously, because, we are the creators of our own reality.
Absolutely. 100%. I was giggling at the question, what is a puckwudgie? Because I have no idea what that is either. I've never seen one. I don't know if that's something to observe. Do I have to Google what a puckwudgie?
I was going to say, but it's spelled differently, I think, I think you can. Puckwudgie. There we go. Okay, here we go. Human-like creature from the folklore of the Wampanoag and other indigenous peoples, described as a small, 2 to 3 feet tall, with smooth gray skin, large nose and ears, and often quills on its back. Puckwudgies are known for their magical abilities, including appearing and disappearing, creating fire, using bows and arrows, which they sometimes poison. While some stories portray them as mischievous or even helpful, others depict them as dangerous beings who kidnap children, cause accidents, and lure people to their deaths.
Well,
great.
How pleasant is that?
Okay. A coworker of mine must have been a pugwudgie. I don't know. I just...
I kind of have. I'm just going to show the page on this. I'm not going to download the picture. I'll just show the page really quickly here. Just because it's got a lot of pictures of the puckwudgie, and I guess you can choose which one suits you best. I love it when it's comparing it against a woman over here. This is hilarious. I don't know if you can see that.
I saw that one. Oh my gosh.
That's funny. But when we think about it, right? I mean, we've been hearing for a long time, probably decades, that, aliens live amongst us.
Yeah.
And so really what is the difference?
Exactly.
Whether it's an alien or a reptile, does it make a difference?
Exactly. Well, okay, so here's a strange thing. When people report seeing that rake skinwalker creature near us, inevitably it's either before or after a reported UFO sighting in the area. So there you go. I mean, we always talk about the interconnectedness of everything, right? So that's an interesting connection, I think.
It is an interesting connection.
It is interesting.
Mario says they're also native to the Great Lakes area.
There you go. Puckwudgies.
And actually, I wish I could pronounce your name completely, but I'm just going to say bone collector. Reptilians depend on fear for nourishment. Reptilians run world governments. Governments create fear to, yeah, like that's basically what we were talking about. The masses, and they fear on the fear created. They feed on the fear created. Apparently, too, is one of the theories that was that they were saying was that the reptilians are actually use the humans as nourishment.
Right.
And then it goes a little bit deeper into where, this is where there's been a lot of missing people, a lot of missing children, a lot of, people that are just never, ever found, ever.
Right.
And it goes into that theory as well.
But that's where also the theory of the demonic comes into play too, because people always say that, you attract what you fear, right? So again, if you are going to talk about all of this stuff, if you are living in a state of fear, if you're in your home and you believe that there's something out to get you, and you fear them, then they're more likely to become reality. And that's something that, other people talk about too, like Kathy, when people talk about, okay, so I think there's something in my house because I'm obsessed with watching paranormal television, or I'm obsessed with watching horror movies, right? Can that happen? Can I attract that kind of energy? And I think that's also why people don't like to talk about the skinwalkers. The moment that you say it,
right? You're bringing it out into creation.
You concretize it. You make it real. And that's another thing, like Voldemort. Oh, hold on. He who shall not be named.
He shall not be named.
You don't talk about that. I think that's interesting, right?
I absolutely agree with it. That when we've investigated things, I mean, that these are some of the things that we've never really investigated, to be honest. Like, nobody's called us up and said, hey, we think we've got, this or that or the other thing in our backyard or anything like that. It's always been housebound or, business bound or land bound to some degree. But even on the land, it's never been, one of these creatures or even a cryptid of any sort, really. I don't believe that we've ever really investigated. However, we have, during investigations, at some point seen cryptids.
Oh gosh, yes.
Right. So, even though you didn't expect it, you're like, what the hell was that I just kind of saw out of the peripheral vision of my face? And I'm going to go back to my car now. Thank you. Have a great night. Okay.
You're right. Like when we did the investigation, we were out with Black Moon Paranormal at Buck Hill Road, and we were there hours and hours hoping to see ghosts. But what did we experience? We experienced like a Bigfoot phenomenon. So again, it's like, okay. And once that happens and you hear the grunting and, rocks start getting thrown at you and stuff like that, you get in your car and you get the hell out of there.
Oh, I would.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I like what Mario's saying. Absolutely. You breathe life into what you say. And this is a lot of times too, why, even though we're on the podcast and we do talk about this stuff, we have ways of cleansing or removing the energy or ways to, not really place focus on, like Wonder Woman or Batfink. My wings are made of wings are made of a shield of steel. You cannot harm me. But in seriousness, like, there are things that, we as individuals do, and we would do before even paranormal investigations or, even talking about this. And it's like we always say, and I've said it a million times, is that a house is only 4 walls.
Yeah.
A house is only 4 walls. So what you're breathing life into your house is it has no way to potentially escape if you're not cleansing it or if you're not mindful of what it is that you're speaking about. So whether it has to do with this, this sort of topic or other topics, whatever it is in the paranormal, just be mindful of what it is that you're saying and where you're saying it.
True. And that's why they always say, clean up your mess, right? So it's not just housekeeping and mopping your floors and dusting and getting rid of that kind of dust and dirt. You also have to cleanse the environment, right? You have to understand what all of the frequencies are in your home, which is interesting. And you have to also raise your vibration and raise your frequency so that you only attract the light and, you kind of send the dark away. You have to do that consciously.
Absolutely. Absolutely. My son always laughs at me because, I fall asleep on the couch to horror movies. So, he's like, or, Criminal Minds or Supernatural or whatever show of the week that I happen to be watching. But, but again, it's something that doesn't particularly affect me. You know what I mean? And again, it's about really cleansing and knowing how to take care of your body. I have to agree with Bone Collector. And again, I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to be ignorant in regards to not saying your name right. I just know even trying to say your name, I would mess it up. But Princess Diana, she says they aren't human. Boom, unalived, 100%. Right. And again, we were talking about this. I don't know if you were part of the show or if you're watching the show when we said this, but one of the other people that we had brought up was Marilyn Monroe, and it's almost like, but Princess Diana is a good example, like brought to a particular peak and then gone. And whether that's because she is, or whether because she was about to expose.
True. That's true. So that would kind of leave, Mick Jagger out of the equation.
Yeah. Unless there's the baby blood, theory. Which is a whole nother theory all on it. So Mario, just harbored some of my sage and mulan. I'm making good for you. Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to give a trick, and I'm sure that, especially being being an investigator yourself, Mario, and for anybody watching this, a lot of people, when they do smudging, and I know, again, I'm not trying to tell anybody how to do anything, but I'm just going to suggest this, and this is just as a, not only an investigator, but also, a psychic medium, somebody who's intuitive, somebody, you know what I mean? Like, we have to remember what we're exactly removing from our homes, right? And not all entities are negative. So even though we have an entity in our home, it doesn't mean that it's negative. Sometimes they're there to protect us. We don't, and we don't need to always know what it is. But if we're not being harmed and we've got a fairly good life and we're just living our life and occasionally a soda can gets moved, who cares? Right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, who cares? Like, let's be realistic, right?
Yes.
But, what I'm trying to say is that, like, when we do the cleansings, I always find by just saying only peace, love, and prosperity can enter within this space. That's it. Because we have to remember that because of the law of attraction, if we're saying things like, I know no more negative, no more blah, 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 and we're using all of these terms, what we're doing is we're actually drawing them in rather than expelling them. So when we say, I only allow peace, love, and prosperity to enter within this home, that's all we need to say. Because only those of peace, love, and prosperity can now come into the home, whether it's a room or whether it's home or whatever it is. We don't need to add to it. We don't need to say anything else. We don't need to really do anything. It pretty much covers all your bases.
Yes, that's true.
And yeah, and I found it so funny. Like, I have found that when we've done this, the energy just instantly changes. Mario says that's perfect. Thank you so much, Mario. That's, honestly, we can make it so easy, right? Like it doesn't need to be a great big ritual. I mean, we don't even need the smudging at times. Like if you want to smudge, by all means, but it's more the intention that's behind it. And, even at night, so, before you go to bed, only peace, love, and prosperity can enter my being while I'm sleeping.
Yes, because you're in a somnambulistic state and so much can happen because you open yourself up to all kinds of possibilities. So you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's important to say that.
So one of the things I actually do too is I do listen to a subliminal meditation while I'm sleeping, just simply because of the fact that for me, it really helps with, like when we always operate off of either our conscious or our subconscious.
Yes.
And it's our conscious that drives us forward, but it's our subconscious that plays in the background and makes up sometimes nonsense that we don't need. And so if we've struggled with childhood, or we struggled, maybe we had a shitty year, whatever, everything happens to me, blah, 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 blah. But we basically, what we want to do is we want to start changing the subconscious, right? Because the subconscious is going to project into consciousness.
Yes. Yes.
And so once I made a statement as to what it is that I allow within myself and what I allow within my external, right? You play that in the subconscious, and the subconscious will project it into the consciousness.
Yes, true. That's why.
And this includes money. This includes relationships. This includes all of our areas of life, career, whatever. Once I said, I want to make X amount, boom, that's exactly what I started doing.
That's right.
And because of the fact that, it's a part of you. It becomes a part of your essence.
Yeah, that's all about manifestation. And that's why manifestation work and the principles of it are so important. And that's why I keep having to remind myself, because you can get bogged down with reality. You get bogged down with what you think is reality. So yeah, it's true, right? It's true. It's that positive talk and that intention, that really positive, good, high vibrational intention. That's really important. And so many people just don't do that. They have such negative self-talk. And again, when we were talking about the negativity, you can bring that in, right? And it can hang on you so terribly that, things will happen. People don't want to be near you. So we got to do that positive self-talk.
We do. And it's, it doesn't mean that bad things can't happen when we're when we're talking positively, but it is going to change the way that we react to it.
Yeah.
And it's going to also change us. So we're not in a place of like, well, everything is going to come, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be one after the other after, da, 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 da. And then it really spirals.
Yes.
So it helps prevent a lot of the spiraling, right? And we can just go, I went out today. I said to my son, every time we were driving and I kept hearing a tick, 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 tick on my tire.
Oh,
this guy with the freaking motorbike. I'm so sorry, guys.
Okay.
But and then I said to my kid, I was like, something's wrong with my car. There's something wrong with my tire. I know it. And went out there, and sure enough, there's a great big freaking nail stuck inside of it. Thankfully, it's not affecting, like the tire's not going flat or anything like that, right? But I was like, oh, and you have two choices. One, I could sit there and go blah 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 and stomp around and get really upset, and the other choice is going, you know what, I'll just take it over to the tire store tomorrow and pay $32 and have it removed.
Yep.
Bada bing, bada boom. Easy peasy. It's done.
True.
And people need to get into that type of mindset. And again, it might not work with every scenario, but just before we click off, we'll read Mario's. He says, I find that for cleansing, if needed, the people who request it have to be ready to let That's how you react. And now you let it go.
Right.
Okay, it's done. Okay, good. I also find that for clearings, if needed, the people who request it have to be ready to let go of the allure and mystery that the paranormal can bring. Sometimes our own curiosity leave that door open. 100%. 100%. And that's interesting that you say that, because I don't know how many times people have asked for a clearing or an investigation. That's such an amazing point, because they've asked for this, and then they're like a year later, blah, 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 can you come back and do this? Well, what were you doing? Well, I don't know. We just did a few like seances and Ouija boards and blah 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 blah. And whatever. But again, it's not about those rituals. It's the fact that you're creating an intention with those rituals or whatever it is that they're doing.
Yeah.
Would it be evil if I like threw something at this person?
Oh, I say go for it. What the hell?
I'm just like, not that I ever would. I'm just, like a sponge or something.
Sponge. I think you just have an intention. Just send it out there. Send it out there.
I will. I'll have my intentional sponge. Just send it out there. So funny. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for being with us today. And we will be back next week. I believe that Trevor is with us next week. I believe that he's back from vacation. So looking forward to oh my God, I love this.
I like it. Perfect, Maria.
I might just put a mop on my head and
Ooh, that's a good one.
Something will happen. Something will happen through that process. We don't know what.
No, something will happen.
It will scare him in whichever way. It will definitely be, probably for my kid too.
Oh no. It was fun. This was a fun topic. I want to do this topic again.
Yeah, and again, we'll be back next week, guys. Thank you so much for being here, and it was wonderful to have you. And again, please subscribe if you're not already. Share the video, and thank you for being with us. It means the world to us. Thank you.
Thank you.